I am teacher Regel Quintia from SDO Caloocan, and my school is Bagong Silang Elementary School. Today, I'm going to report about business's fascination with utilitarianism. Utilitarianism is the family of ethical theories on which the rightness of actions, rules, or policies depends on and only on the sum total of well-being they produce. The theory of utilitarianism can be applied in business in many ways. To begin with, business persons who wish to use this theory must first understand its four components. The application of this theory can either be positive or negative. Utilitarianism is not a single viewpoint, but a family of related ethical theories. What these theories have in common are four defining elements. Number 1, consequentialism. 2, welfarism. 3, impartiality or individualism. And 4, additive aggregationism. Consequentialism is the view that the moral rightness of actions, rules, or policies depends on and only on the value of their consequences. The wrongness or rightness of actions is entirely determined by their actions. Businesses can apply the concept of consequentialism in their operations even though it may contradict the moral and ethical systems that are in place. Thus, to evaluate whether an action is right or wrong, we should look at all of its consequences rather than any of its other features. For instance, when breaking a promise has bad consequences, as it usually does, consequentialists consider it wrong to do so. However, breaking a promise is not considered wrong in and of itself in exceptional cases. Breaking a promise would be morally permissible or even required, such as when doing so is necessary to save a life. Welfarism is the view that only the welfare of individuals determines how good a particular state of the world is. The wrongness of right or rightness of operations depends on society's conceptions of welfare or well-being. This aspect of utilitarianism suggests that actions are good for the greatest well-being of the society or many people. Therefore, from a welfarist perspective, good consequences are those which increases well-being in the world, while bad consequences are those which decrease it. Philosophers use the term well-being to describe everything that is good for a person in itself, as opposed to things only instrumentally good for a person. For example, money can buy many useful things and is thus good for a person instrumentally, but it is not a component of their well-being. Individualism. The principle of individualism in utilitarianism holds that every individual, as is human nature, pursues happiness, thus will engage in actions that maximize utility. Accepting impartiality means treating well-being as equally valuable regardless of when, where, or to whom it occurs. As utilitarian philosopher Henry Sidgwick states, the good of any one person is no more important from the point of view of the universe than the good of any other. As a consequence, utilitarians value the well-being of all individuals equally, regardless of their nationality, gender, where or when they live, or even their species. According to utilitarianism, you should not even privilege the well-being of yourself or your family over the well-being of distant strangers. Aggregation. A business applying this element should engage in activities that increase its profits while at the same time serve the best interests of its customers, the community, and the government. Additive aggregationism is the view that the value of the world is the sum of the values of its parts, where these parts are local phenomena such as experiences, lives, or societies. This view implies that we can meaningfully compare and trade off the well-being of individuals and groups of individuals by adding up their well-being. For example, utilitarianism claims that improving 5 lives by some amount is better than improving 1 life by the same amount, and that it is 5 times better. Simple words, utilitarianism holds that the most ethical choice is the one that will produce the greatest good for the greatest number. As such, it is the only moral framework that can justify military force or war. Moreover, utilitarianism is the most common approach to business ethics because of the way that it accounts for cost and benefits.